Marvel Tokons was announced a couple of weeks ago, and it's a game that I'm absolutely looking forward to. I am ecstatic about it. I always loved the idea of like a standalone Marvel or a DC game. That's why I was so huge on Injustice, and I'm really looking forward to this game. And they revealed it a couple of weeks ago. We got an initial like 8 characters reveal. Evo is just this upcoming weekend, so there is a very good chance that we're gonna know more about the roster members. They showed some screenshots here and there. Some screenshots showed like the roster select screen, and it appears that we may get like a 35 characters roster at least at launch, right? And that would be insane if that's true, but hey, this is still like a 4v4 fighter, so I imagine that we're gonna get like a healthy amount of roster members. So I figured before the reveals, before Evo and a potential upcoming news, why not make a prediction on who may be in this game? And it's obvious that they are honoring some of the Marvel characters' legacy in fighting games. I think with the reveal of Storm and Doctor Doom specifically this early, like they know about the MVC series, they know that a lot of people care, so I imagine they're gonna honor some of the Marvel characters and their legacy with fighting games, and this is something I'm gonna keep in consideration, but also I'm gonna talk about some characters that I think would be really cool to have in a fighting game. Some picks that are a little bit like fan favorites to me personally. So we know the initial 8, right? And then let's start first with the characters that are just like shoe-in, that you know are gonna be in there, and that's pretty much like the core Avenger members, right? You know that Hulk absolutely will be in the base roster, you know that Thor absolutely will be in the base roster, Black Widow 100%, Hawkeye 100%, Doctor Strange absolutely, and obviously Wolverine, right? It wouldn't be a Marvel game without Wolverine. And the final character in like the shoe-in, the guaranteed guys, I'm sure it's gonna be Black Panther, given the recent popularity of the character and his role in the Marvel universe, his or her role. They're a shoe-in, absolutely they're gonna make it. With that out of the way, let's now talk about my favorite group of Marvel characters, the X-Men. I love the X-Men so much, and I know the X-Men, like more than others, have like the deepest roots in like fighting games culture, and because of that, you know that they're gonna have Magneto, right? Magneto obviously is gonna be it. He's a huge thing in all of like X-Men, Marvel, and fighting games, right? And I know that the guys want to have Psylocke, you want to have Cyclops, you want to have Rogue, you want to have Juggernaut, you want to have like the X-Men, the Capcom X-Men guys. But here is where I'm gonna diverge a little bit. I think there are other X-Men that would be like really cool to have in this game, right? For starters, I think Mystique would make for a fantastic fighting game character. She already was like the X-Men Dimension, like the game on the PlayStation 2. She does have like hand-to-hand combat skills, she have a gun, she's a shapeshifter, and I know if they're going for like shape-shifting, likely they're gonna go for Loki, but Mystique does have that power set as well, which could be really cool. Another character that I think would be amazing is Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler, ever since that starting scene in the X2 movie, I've been dreaming about Nightcrawler in a fighting game because he's made for fighting games, and he would fill in like that freaky type of the roster, absolutely perfection. I don't think anyone would mind having Nightcrawler in there. The next one is just a selfish pick, but I absolutely would love to see this character in a Marvel fighting game. It's Emma Frost, and I absolutely am in love with this character these days. She got me to play Marvel Rivals way more than any other character. Obviously, my most played, she's in my like subscribe small video, the transition. She's on my desktop. Emma Frost have been one of the greatest byproducts of gaming mechanics that I have ever seen, because as you know, in like shooter games, typically tank characters have to be like big bodies, and that resulted in Emma Frost having the thickest size big mommy dominating energy I have ever seen. And it's absolutely sick. Imagine she going diamond form, being a grappler, being like a force brute character. We had Colossus in the previous games. Imagine having Emma Frost. She would break the internet. Like, we already seen how thick Storm is, and this is by far as much as like this is by far the most gooning you're gonna get in this video. We're already seen how thick Storm is. Emma Frost is gonna take it to a whole another level. Emma Frost is, oh my god. And obviously the final character is gonna be Deadpool. Deadpool is far too popular to not be in a Marvel game. Surprisingly, he's not a Marvel Rivals yet, but I'm sure he's gonna get in there eventually. He have a legacy in Marvel vs. Capcom games, so I'm sure Deadpool is gonna make it. I feel like I already have way too many X-Men, but hey, I mean, this is a Marvel fighting game, and X-Men's are great. So let's move out of the X-Men a little bit. Daredevil. How have Daredevil not made it into a Marvel fighting game before? This is beyond me. This guy is badass, and there's so much that you can do with Daredevil mechanically. I would absolutely love to see him in a fighting game. Ant-Man might be difficult to incorporate because of technology, but he would be such a cool character. I know there was like Atom in Injustice 2, which was kind of like the same thing, but kinda. So I would imagine like I want to see like how Arxis with an insanely amazing, cool graphical style, how they're gonna pull in this character that can like go big, go small. He can be absolutely crazy. She-Hulk. I know this is a character that people have kind of soured on because of the TV show. It wasn't that great, but She-Hulk is honestly badass. Remember She-Hulk from the Fantastic Four cartoons? She-Hulk in Marvel vs. Capcom, she was absolutely amazing. And it's a character that I would really like to see like a redemption on, because I honestly think she was really, really cool. Unfortunately, the show did a lot to like ruin her image, but she deserves a second chance. Now, obviously, we're gonna have some members of the Fantastic Four. They just got a movie, they became immensely popular, and I would love to see Mr. Fantastic. And I know what you're gonna say, right? But Mura, Ms. Marvel already does the same thing. And sure, but they don't really operate the same. And when you really think about it, Ghost Rider also have like chains that attack, like he's a long limb character as well. So like there are already from the 8 characters revealed, there are 2 long limbs character. And Mr. Fantastic, his fighting style is not really like Ms. Marvel because his mass doesn't transfer. He can be like the guy who shifts into like different shapes, like being a brute. I think they did him really, really well in Marvel Rivals, showing that there's a lot more that you can do with the character. And obviously the Human Torch, right? Human Torch is like one of the coolest, pun intended, is one of the coolest characters in Marvel. I think they tried to put him in like one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, but they couldn't technically do it. Now technology have improved a lot. I think he was eating up too much of the RAM or something like that, right? But technology have improved a lot, and having a character who's like constantly on fire his entire body could be really cool. But mechanically, Human Torch, you could do anything with Human Torch, and that is what makes him like such a cool character. I love him personally. He's absolutely my favorite, and I imagine lots of you he's your favorite from the Fantastic Four. So he would be like a total badass. And obviously a big part of Marvel is Spider-Man, right? So you're gonna have like that Spider-Man presence, and I would love to see some of the Spider-Man villains that never made it into a fighting game be represented a little bit. Like the Green Goblin. I feel like the Green Goblin would make for an insanely cool fighting game character. He would be like the puppet character of this game, where you could move him, but you can also move the glider. He could be amazing, like if done right, and I can't wait to see, especially since Arxis can also be like, can be really creative with their character designs. I feel like they're gonna do a Green Goblin amazing. If there was ever a developer that could do him, I think it's Arxis. On that same note, Doc Ock again. Him and Green Goblin, they fit into the Freaks, but also they are like immensely popular characters, never been in the fighting games, and would be really, really cool to have. And there could be like so much that could be done with him. Amazing range. Again, he's like one of these long limbs characters, but he could be really, really cool. I think you can do a lot with him that could be fun. Obviously, you're gonna have Venom, because Venom is far too popular to not be in a Marvel fighting game, and he have roots in like the Marvel vs. Capcom series as well, so I imagine just by popular demand, he's gonna be in. Now, I said before that there isn't gonna be much gooning left in this video, but I lied, because the final Spider-Man villain I wanna aim is Black Cat. I swear Marvel are sitting on a gold mine with Black Cat. This character, she'll be so interesting to have in the game. She could offer like the different kind of mobility, be like really cool in character mechanically as well. She is like a really strong hand-to-hand combatant. I don't know, I feel like Black Cat with Arxis as well, they could do really, really well with her. She might remind me so much of Giovanna from Strive, or maybe like Milia even. They could do so much with her, that could be like really, really interesting. Now let's switch over to some of the more cosmic beings in Marvel. Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy. I would like them to have Rocket and Groot in the game, but as like one character, I think they could do that really well. It could function in a way like Atrocitus, I think that was his name, in the Injustice 2 game. I think that could be done kind of like that. It could be like a really cool and fun mechanic between the two of them. Captain Marvel, obviously this one is gonna make it. I imagine that we're gonna have Nova as well, and these are two characters who have been in Marvel fighting games before, so again honoring some of the legacy that the Marvel games have. I also imagine they're gonna do something with Falcon, Sam Wilson, and like Falcon Captain America. Just because of how significant the character is in the current MCU, I find it very difficult for them not to address him in any ways. He's already not in Marvel Rivals, so I'm almost sure he's gonna be in the game in like some form of another. The final two characters are Ultron, which is a fan favorite of mine. I always loved Ultron. I loved him so much in the MVCI. He was my main in that game. Ultron is so cool, and even Marvel Rivals, he's so cool. And the final character is Thanos. Obviously, Thanos is gonna be in it. This is a Marvel game after all. And that is about it. What are your thoughts on my roster selection? Which characters would you like to see? I try to go for a mix between characters that are relevant in the current Marvel universe, characters that would honor the legacy of the old school Marvel fighting games, characters that I think personally would make for really fun fighting game characters, and others who are just like flat out fan favorites of mine. But one can also be really cool. I know that there are others like Cyclops, like Psylocke. Dude, I could make like an entire X-Men fighting game and I would absolutely eat it up. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this list? Which characters would you like to see as well? And who do you think may get revealed at EVO? Because there's a very good chance we get to see some. I would love to hear your thoughts about all of it in the comment section below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.